interruptions, and there is always a positivity towards it. That is what is my assumption.
Okay, so what do
is something which is very wide, okay? It's a wide phenomena. So I would really like to focus on the HR. I would really like to focus on the HR side of how digital is impacting HR or vice versa. So I think basically it's something that is going in parallel with the disruptive economy. We've seen the change over past 10 years. We've seen companies coming out of nowhere and becoming the top companies in the world. The likes of Amazon, Google, Facebook, the likes of Amazon, Google, Facebook, and now recently Netflix and so many others. It was one of the top 10 companies. What we produce is something very complex. It's a complex technological business that not everyone can do. So there's limitations that not everyone can do. So there's limitation for the localization as well. So for example, in the US, that cannot be brought to Pakistan, for example, or not even to China. So what you need is a lot of centralization. And because you've gone global, you need a lot of support to make things work. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, customers or you sell to Wabda in Pakistan. Believe you me, they're the same. The demands are the same because we deal with very educated users. We deal with engineers who are the best, who are the top of the notch. They're the best of their field. So you cannot bluff or you cannot just sell something on sentiments like Coca-Cola or some other thing, right? So it cannot run on sentiment. So it's something that is very challenging, something which is very complex. So the digital disruption was need of the hour. And it's something that GE has done really early. Like I've been there for the past 6 years and I have seen so much transformation. And I believe that I think GE could not have survived had it not been for a lot of changes in the organization. I don't think you can isolate HR digitization or any aspect of HR now from the business needs. You need digitization in HR because it's the business demand for you. Okay, you need lean organization. So you need central teams. Now, how do you get those teams connected? You need to get them on some platform, some forum, which is very easy to connect on, and it's very visual. It's very let's say easy to get on and get the things done. For example, very recently, my boss is based in France, so we were supposed to have our staff meeting, and that staff meeting was with the team which is spread across the world, literally, like I would say any country in the world, you name it, and the people were actually stationed there. So getting those people over to Paris, which was happening up until last year, and this year, because of the cost cutting and a lot of pressures on the company's P&L, it was simply not possible because it was something which required, I don't know, a couple of millions of dollars spending, which was absolutely unthinkable for my boss. So what we did was we had the same agenda, we had the same number of days for the meeting, but we got on to the Sky for Business. And it was one of the best meetings I've had, really. I did not see any let's say, difference in terms of the quality of the interaction, the quality of the content, or even what we wanted to share with each other, or what we wanted to learn from each other. It was actually much more effective than what we used to do face-to-face with a lot of logistical challenges and everything. And this is the beauty of technology. This is truly HR's digital disruption. Because something that was unthinkable to happen virtually, like 3-4 years ago, not only happened, but happened better than the face-to-face meeting room interaction. So I think this is the best example that I can come up with of how the disruption of digital phenomena in HR. So this is one aspect. And there's so many other things. For example, I mean, again, because I work for a company which is very advanced, I would say, in terms of digitization. So there's so many other examples I can give. For example, you know, something as small as, like, you know, your expenses. Like, you know, you spend as an employee, you have a corporate card from your company, and you know, in a corporate card from your company, and you know, in a regular organization, it has, right? Because you bring your expense proof back, and you know, you go back and forth with your HR administration, and then submit that, and then that goes through one manager and the second manager for approval, etc., which is a very long process. And it's not only long, but it's also consuming a lot of your resources. It's costly affair for you. So what's happening in GE? I have this app, okay? I open this app, I incur an expense, I take a picture, and I just upload it in that app. And I just have to expense it. It goes straight away to my manager, who again has the access to that app, and it also goes to his inbox, so he can just approve it in 1 minute. And this is how it functions. So imagine the number of resources that you can cut in this process. Otherwise, you would actually need one admin person for a team of, like, I don't know, even 4 people. But imagine this, the global picture, where like hundreds of people have a similar need, and they're able to do this just on the click of an app. So I think this is how the organizations have to think. I'm not talking from a high moral ground or something, but I think in Pakistan specifically, I worked for Shell, and Shell was again a global company, so they have a similar approach to this. But for the local companies to grow, thrive, and able to attract good talent, I think they need to think about these things, because what's happening in Pakistan is that we still have this preference for the multinationals. And that is the reason that our local businesses cannot flourish, they cannot thrive as much as, for example, in Silicon Valley, where people from the best companies or from the best universities like to join the startups. But here it's not the case. Maybe it's changing now gradually, but not at the pace that we need it to be. So I think if you think on these lines, and if any one of you is an entrepreneur or a business leader, I think this is something that I would encourage you to think about. And I also challenge my own organization. I'm not HR, but I challenge my HR day in, day out on all the things that we're not doing right. And this is just the administration side of the HR, but there's the recruitment side, there's the talent retention side, and then above all, the talent development side. And another example which I can give from my organization is having this pool of resources, and it's with the name of Brilliant You. It's a sort of virtual university in our company, and you have the access to all the, let's say, the best resources in the world. Like, you can have the best sellers of, I don't know, any publisher. You can have the best business books. You can have the best technology books, whatever. If you are a young dynamic engineer who wants to grow, it's like the whole world is open to you. Even the Harvard courses, everything is out there. It's just your appetite and how you want to make the best use of it. So they've made this accessible to the employees, which is extremely motivating for anybody. It's been so motivating for me as well. And I get approached by people for new opportunities, and I think 100 times before even thinking about it, because of what GE can provide me in terms of learning and development and all those quality of life things that I don't think any regular organization can provide for me. So yeah, this is my thinking process.
Excellent. So, Misbah, what do you think about the technology impact on people behavior, and how people are changing in terms of mentality? What do you say? Being a psychologist, what is your input into it?
Okay. Before I start my 2 pence of contribution to these wonderful people who are sitting next to me, I just read a quote today, and I thought it's very. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can change adjust myself so I reach my destination. So I think it's all about adjusting to the trends and Tariq? technology खाया तो फंस गए, ना खाया तो तभी have to look at it as something that we have to take on board and move forward. So the impact that I see in my clients is the addiction behavior, the addictive behavior to technology, addiction behavior, the addictive behavior to technology, not having enough time for themselves or their family, losing the human touch, and we are becoming dependent on technology so much that we are, and it's like our phones and our computers or whatever technology we use is becoming our extension. If we had bolt on into our bodies, we would probably bolt our phones into our bodies. It's not aware that it's a friend, but it's also a foe. It's a double-edged sword. It can damage us as much as it can help us. But remember one tool. Lots of people blame tools like, oh, maybe ye gaadi kharab ho gayi hai, because you did not service it on time. My computer is not working because you did not put antiviruses in it. So it's not the tool's fault. You are the master of the tool. How do you respond to it? That is what the gap is. At the moment we think, okay, because it's helping us, it's controlling us. No, it's not controlling you. If I turn my computer off, or turn my phone off, or turn my television off, will it come on by its own? The question? Can it
No.
come on its own? No,
No.
it can't, can it? Because I am the person controlling it. So how can I sit here and say technology is controlling me? I was also reading a few articles on the topic. It's like, why is it always versus, like psychology or humans versus technology? Why is this competition happening? Why cannot be a combined attitude? Why cannot it be like, humans and technology? Not a combatant, it's not an enemy, as I said earlier. So I do get a lot of addictive clients, a lot of parents come to me, a lot of teachers come to me, a lot of, whatever employers come to me. It's like Mira staff, and they are not focusing enough on their work. So it's not this machine. You are the person who is the master. Remember and learn and skill your attitude and your hardware up here to control the software that you command. Thank you.
Okay, having said that, जो कि Islamic है, so what do you think? What sort of technology can make HR department life easier? So actually, there are two perspectives of this digital disruption in HR. One is the usage of technology in HR department, and the second is usage of technology for ease of HR, people. तो जो कि थोड़ा सा इन्होंने भी बताया वो एक internal thing. So if let's focus it towards only HR department. So how you see कि HR department को कहाँ technology की ज़रूरत है और क्या चीज़ें करनी चाहिए?
Before going to that, I would rather like to expand one very interesting or very pertinent point which Ms. Pai has identified, that you have to adjust yourself with the changing wind. By the way, this is the philosophy of flying. By the way, by giving this statement, you educated aviator in me. For every successful landing and takeoff, you need to take good use of the headwind. इसके ऊपर अल्लामा इकबाल का एक शेर भी है कि तुंदी ये बाद मुखालिफ से ना घबराए औकाब, ये तो उड़ती है तुझे ऊंचा उड़ाने के लिए. So it is always the headwind which is your survival. Whether you are coming for landing, I'm talking of purely flying perspective, or whether you are going to take off. आपने देखा होगा जितने रनवेज में एक ऑरेंज कलर का एक 360 डिग्री रोटेट करता हुआ एक होता है बलून सा, वो बेसिकली दैट इज देयर टू टेल यू that what is the intensity of the wind, because उसकी एक language है, and then it tells you that what is the direction it is coming from, so that you can apply accordingly correction. So अगर ये flying के लिए important है तो human life के लिए तो it is directly proportional. The earlier or better you align yourself with the change, which we all believe that is the only thing which is constant. The rest all are mortal. So the earlier we align with the change, the better it is. I'll just quote few examples. I just have to justify my gray hairs. That out of experience, I want to share few things that would basically make us understand things even more better. While in Africa, there was a mandatory requirement that we have to come for a board meeting to Abu Dhabi, our group headquarters. And it was a very huge cost. Whether you are in Abidjan, whether you are in Brazzaville, whether you are in Kampala, you have to travel every quarter to Abu Dhabi to sort of attend that board meeting and all that. Once I came to PTCL, and there I found presence, they call it. You just sit in front of each other in any city of the world, just like as you are sitting across you. So saving a lot of money, saving a lot of time, and you are real time discussing everything to the extent that while we were in PDCL, so we had 3 regions, central, north and south. So you can divide that screen into 3 and you would be finding that the representation or the core team of all the 3 regions are live sitting in front of the president, and even within the country we don't have to move. So just the cost of that equipment, which is our own indigenous product, so you can well imagine कि हमें तो कितना सस्ता पड़ता होगा. So basically that was a comparison. Now I'll give you another very interesting comparison. The other day, I mean, it is always good to sit with the old people. They always talk out of their experience. The other day we had I think it was a lifetime enjoyment. We had our students who were our students during the basic flying courses, they all have become now generals, and they invited us to the aviation school to celebrate their reunion. And there, once we visited them after almost more than 2.5 decades, and I found that this technological interruption has really changed the complete complexion of the flying. I used to recollect the days. Once I have a student, I used to take him into a small cubicle. There is a whiteboard. I am writing the aerodynamic formula on the board, and then I am having a model of aircraft in my hand. I am trying to explain him, under influence this formula, the aircraft with this deflection is going to do this. So it was very difficult for me because I was clear. To make him clear was a lifetime challenge. But now, you go there, you see plasma screen, you just pick up a laser pointer and you tell him, because of this phenomena, this is what is happening with the pilot and this is what is happening outsidely on the aircraft aerofoil. So that credit goes to the technology, and at the same time, credit goes to those who are using it very well.